Transplant being the first song on the album, you think is like the most Seagull song, which I kind of get, because it's got elements of those early songs like kind of Heavenly War, the way it sort of moves around. The one time that, one of the very few times, I said this before, that I've ever dumped someone, well, I ended it, I don't like that word, and there was a misunderstanding over the phone. Not that I dump people on the phone either. we'd already settled it, but there was a misunderstanding. She couldn't hear what I was saying, so I kind of had to be like, you know, my heart's changed kind of thing, and she was like, and that lyric, maybe I misheard, sorry, what did you say? Your heart changed when I said the same. So that kind of is where that came from.
Yeah, so the song stemmed from that kind of tiny...
Yeah, the song stems from that initial idea, and then it's about heartbreak, really.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, because like, that's like the first verse, and then the song kind of all grows out.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool, it's like the first moment of heartbreak, and then going through the motions of thinking you're going to drive out to someone's house and change their mind. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and recording that was like quite like a fun and different experience, because we knew it had all these like really nice moving parts and sections, and it was about how to like bring the best out of that.
I had to sort of stop myself sometimes when I realised that my first instinct is to just have like some sort of like power couplet, which is just like cutting through like bam, 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 on the beat, and but then that is just so satisfying. Like it brings me great enjoyment just to be able to play that, because it's just it's so
it adds
rhythm to it. It
adds rhythm to it.
I think it's definitely like us all on our A game, like kind of giving it as much as we can, and I think every instrument shines in different parts, and it's definitely like a little conversation between all of us.
I think it has think about that, it has so many different parts. It comes together.
But it doesn't feel like it's like
because it's lots of little bits stuck together instead of
an indie symphony, I'd describe it.
Yeah, so Lie to Me, that was kind of the last song we recorded for the album.
Yeah.
So we kind of like felt we could be a bit second last, so
it was kind of the last,
we'd be a bit freer with it sonically and stuff. Like playing around with it and whatever, you know.
I think we had
I've used different influences on my voice, bit Robert Smith, you know, playing around.
So we spent like 5 days recording it, and just building it up, breaking it back down again, trying different versions.
Tried my best to make it spaghetti western, but
that was cool,
for a while. It was really for a second, and then
because it has that kind of Americana shuffle to the rhythm. But we sort of toyed with that, but we changed the beat.
My favourite part is when we spent hours making an instrumental section, and we came in the morning, Larry deleted it and wouldn't show it to us again.
That's called producing.
That's called producing.
That's those managing expectations.
Well, I think his words were, I don't want to listen to that again, but you can if you really want to.
But anyway, what came out of it was Lie to Me, which I think is pretty good. So like Forever we started playing years and years ago, and we saved it for the album.
Yeah,
like
I think the first time we played it was at Bushstock Festival, and it's on YouTube if you want to find it. And
don't look at it.
I'm pretty sure it went really badly, so...
I know exactly the moment where it's like in the drop down. I just go, it's meant to go to a D chord, and I just go somewhere else down there because it's like
I think we first recorded it like 2 years ago.
And moved to the second EP around
around that same time as the second EP, but we knew it kind of had to be on the album.
That's what, but we kept on like teasing it through. I'm sure people have been there at gigs where they've heard it. And now it's come together for them.
I think it's probably our most played song at gigs. That hasn't been released on the album. And that first gig, that was the second time I ever got on a bar, I think. Then it became a bit of a trope.
It's like they speak to each other, the barman, because they always like pour a half. It's always a half pint as well.
It's like half pint slides. I'm like, I'm not drinking this week. I'll give it to someone else. The last one I got given a can of Skol. So there you go.
So one of the first songs we ever recorded was Call Me Out, and that also found its way into the album. Kind of an interesting story for the process of that.
Like found its way into the album, like it just opened the wrong door.
It's
on the album.
Yeah, it was kind of obvious. It was our first song that we thought was our best song, clearly, I think.
First single.
Yeah, first single that we ever like. It was so obvious.
I was saying the other day to someone that's like, that song is really what helped us define our sound to some extent. Like
Yeah.
we were still playing around a lot at that point, and we had kind of like a bit more like dream pop elements, even some kind of folk elements at that point.
Yeah.
It was the leftovers of our bands.
Yeah. So
Yeah, definitely felt like this was the first.
That was a turning point.
First thing we've like created something.
Maybe it's because we recorded that first demo / that first thing in Rudimental's studio.
That gave it that.
That like
Yeah.
gave it that
legitimacy.
I'm not sure if that means anything.
Yeah.
But for the version on the album, we originally recorded a whole new version,
Yeah.
which ended up being quite rocky.
Really rocky.
It was really
90s,
rocky, like
yeah.
almost like pop punk. Well, it was mixed by a guy who did all Weezer, so
Yeah.
it still the final one was, but it still sounded like
Yeah.
almost like a Weezer version. But we
Used
kind
a lot
of
of the original, didn't we?
yeah. Then we actually kind of stripped it back to original and realised that that's kind of what makes the song special, and then kind of enhanced that version.
Yeah, for a bit of trivia, why doesn't everyone put their hand where their hair was at that time we recorded that? Does everyone
The original.
The
one.
original.
Mine was like down here.
Mine was probably like.
Mine was
Yeah.
pretty short.
You're the original.
If I count my like hair, facial hair.
Oh yeah, you had a full beard.
I
Yeah,
like
there's some-
properly grew a beard then.
Looking through all those videos, we
It's
were crazy.
crazy.
That's going to be the album 2 look, right?
Yeah, probably. We'll
Well,
get
like
back
shaved
to that.
shaved head,
Yeah.
and then big beard.
I might
get back to that.
Like the Killers, they grew
No,
moustaches.
yeah.
Killers,
Yeah.
all grew moustaches.
Just let
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
whatever we
We have
can.
to.
I don't think I can.
We'll pencil one in for you.
Just can't shake the feeling.
So Shake we did like our first run through as like a test, and then I mean after we did a few takes we kind of realised that spontaneity of the first drum take was what the song needed, because I think it's a bit different to other songs, and it needed to have a bit more loose
Live
feel,
feel.
live feel.
Because Ollie didn't even do it to metronome. It was completely it was a take just feeling each other
Yeah.
in the room, and so actually you probably hear that how it is more.
And because I'm
it
still
speeds
figuring out
up
the
more
parts,
emotion, yeah.
because I was still figuring out the parts, I play it live completely differently, because that's just me just like what you hear on the record is me just getting to grips with the song, but it's just like guessing. But I think that kind of feel is definitely what the song needed, because I guess it kind
Because
of
it's
breaks
most just rock and
Most
roll
rock and
on
roll.
the album.
I think that riff is really old as well. Like I think that was a demo. I made a demo with that riff in maybe 2017, and then it was only till maybe 20.
We definitely did. We did like a few run-throughs of it in like 2017-18, and then kind of
Yeah.
didn't quite
Yeah.
find the
And then we picked
structure.
it back
We
up,
didn't find the
yeah.
structure right, and then when we picked it up for the album,
Yeah, I think it came together again.
Did you redemo it?
What made
I redemoed it with a different chorus. Well, actually no, it didn't even have a chorus. I think I was just relying on the riff to seal it. But then the chorus sort of cements it with the guitar line.
and that's fun. Like putting stuff like you put your guitar through a organ rotary cam or
Yeah.
something like so, like trying to make, because we kind of wanted the core of it to be like just guitars, drums, and bass.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of synth, and then it's like making weird noises
Yeah,
and trying to
yeah.
mess around with those instruments to make a
There's a few ambient things in
I
the,
think
in the
the-
background.
big sound.
I think the little bit where it goes shake makes the song.
It's a bit of candy.
Candy,
Candy.
yeah, candy. Yeah, even rock songs have candy.